Parliament. A motion was brought, a resolution was brought last year by one member of Parliament, and there has been a really heated debate looking at the pros and the cons.
I mean, this is a topic that is separating the best of friends
Yeah.
because you either fall on one side of the debate, and I don't know, depending on what side you fall on, it kind of depends, you know, where you sit and who you're friends with. Ty, what do you?
I don't understand. I don't understand why am I attacked. But I am. My first issue with the whole conversation around abortion is the fact that men even have a say in what women do and their policing of women's bodies. I have a fundamental problem with that. And I have chosen a side. I do have a side that I pick, and I think that it should be up to the woman to decide whether or not she wants to carry a child.
When you think about it, though, and I'm going to play devil's advocate, if you're talking about a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it may be, the father does have rights. I mean, what about you as the man? You have your wife or your girlfriend that is pregnant. This is your child as well.
Right.
You should be able to say what happens to your child,
It takes
the
two.
fate of your child. You should have a say.
Right, and I think you can say what you feel, but ultimately the decision should rest with the woman.
I mean, I'll go on record about where I stand with it, and I'll preface it by saying that where I stand now is not where I have always stood. My beliefs have changed over time, but I don't believe that abortion should be legal. I think that there are certain circumstances where, you know, maybe for the safety of the mother, that you can do that, but generally I don't believe that it should be legal. Okay. And it's tough because I understand that there are certain situations that make it difficult. But when it's a case where, you know, you're being irresponsible, or, I mean, I know stuff happens, but that's not necessarily the answer. And as a Christian woman, my belief system and how I view the world, my perspective is a little different. Maybe not popular, but...
So when you raise the example about being irresponsible, what do you explain when you say you're irresponsible?
So when you just decide to have sex and you get pregnant, and it's because you decided you weren't going to wear a condom, and now you have a child and it's an inconvenience and you don't want it, so you're like, well, I'll just get rid of it.
Because using abortion as a birth control method is just wrong as far as I'm concerned as well.
But having a child as a consequence for a mistake is better?
It's a life and a consequence. I don't know that I necessarily look at a child as a consequence. I mean, you did something, you made a decision to do something, and this is the result of that decision. And so be responsible and deal with it. Or if you never want to breed, have a child. If you didn't want to have a child, then use a condom.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I wish it were that simple though, and we know that human behavior is never black and white. And you don't only have sex to reproduce.
Exactly.
So people do have sex and they may not necessarily have been prepared to have sex. So to say that even though you weren't prepared and you still had sex, and because you got pregnant now, you're 17 years old or you're 18 years old, now you need to have the child to now prove that you're responsible, to me is you're making the mother of the child suffer if she's really genuinely not ready to have a child. And you're also going to make that child suffer to be raised by somebody who we are already judging and saying that they're not responsible, and now that person has to be a parent.
But that child has to suffer by being killed because of a decision that you made.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because in my mind, it's not a child as yet. Because
so it goes back to the debate. Where does life begin? And I think in New York, I was saying it to you, I believe that now full-term abortions are legal.
And that is just wild. I mean, it's ridiculous. But as I said, for me, like seriously, we need to really get together. We need to, if it's illegal, we need to ensure that there are no gray areas. And if it's not, then we need to fix it. So that's it for us in this very heated segment.
What a mature conversation, ladies. Indeed. Like, this is how it should be. We can agree to disagree and not fight off each other.
Indeed.
Exactly, but any way you take it, we really need to come to a final word on this matter to settle it once and for all. But we want to hear from you. Join the conversation on Instagram and Facebook. It's a Woman's World JA. See you right after this break.
I'm bold and beautiful. This is a woman.